Yeah, what's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. If you have clicked on this video, I just first off just want to say I'm extremely appreciative of your time. I know obviously the world we're moving into, that this is becoming a more common thing to talk about, but I know there's still a lot of people that sort of not refuse, but find it very uncomfortable to talk about mental health. I guess the reason for today's video is obviously for the month of September, I am going to be raising money with the Black Dog Institute by having this absolutely disgusting haircut on my head and progressively shaving more of the top, or cutting more of the top, until it is completely party at the back and business up the front. So if you would like to donate to a good cause, I understand, we're still in the midst of a pandemic, but that doesn't mean that mental health has disappeared. If anything, it's actually increased. So any money would be fantastic. I understand that I think it's like 30% of my viewers are from America. So the Black Dog Institute is just a foundation that is doing research into mental health. So yeah, it's become more of a sensitive, I guess, topic, and something that's a bit more important to me over the last few years. Obviously, unfortunately, losing some pretty close people, and more importantly, having close friends lose loved ones, which is obviously never a good thing. So yeah, anything would be amazing. So the links for that will be down below. But yeah, so let's have a little chat about mental health. First off, I'm a big believer that if you want to see change in the world, it first starts with you. So the prime example of this video, I definitely think that the more that we openly talk about mental health, both in obviously women and more importantly men, the better. Obviously males, over the past few decades have not been ones to really dive in too heavily with emotions. I've been a player in that game. I can honestly tell you, from 16 to 22, 23, I was pretty much an emotionless shell. I refused to feel feelings, and that wasn't really the best way to do this thing called life, because life is going to be tough. There's no blueprint to success on how to constantly be the best version of yourself and always have the best headspace. So it's important to be the change. So in me making this video, I understand that my age demographic on YouTube varies between 18, which I'm assuming is kids that are obviously under the age of 18, because I'm pretty sure you need to be 18 to have a YouTube channel, up until bloody adults. I think it's maybe it's 20% of you guys are 60 plus. So this small community that I do have on here, which I'm super grateful for, I can sort of hit males, which also 99.1% of my subscribers are males. So I feel like this demographic that I can hit is a good place to start. I guess straight off the bat, none of this should be taken as medical advice or anything like that. I am by no means a trained professional when it comes to anything health related. This is purely just my thoughts and opinions, and then later on I will obviously give my tools that I use on a day-to-day basis to give me the best mental headspace possible. When it comes to obviously mental health, I think a lot of us obviously find it very hard to talk about, and a lot of us find it to be somewhat weak if we are struggling upstairs. I think that first off is the worst thing to possibly think. It is definitely not weak to speak. There is nothing wrong with being in a bad position. There is nothing wrong with struggling. And if we are going to look at life on a macro level, you learn more from difficult times than you do from successful times. Steph told me something in very, very early stages of our relationship, and that a problem shared is a problem halved. I couldn't agree with that statement any more than I already do, because it has been such a beneficial segue and I guess phrase in my life to whenever I feel like I am struggling in whatever situation I'm in society, that I know that if I say this, that my problem out loud to not even maybe her, to anyone in particular, even just writing it down on a piece of paper, just the act of going from upstairs to outside just makes that problem seem a little bit less of a problem. And now, like I said, if you are obviously struggling, I do recommend that you seek professional help. But, you know, there is no one in your family or friend circle is going to feel less of you for leaning in on them in times that you are struggling. It's as simple as that. They're friends, they're family, that's what they're there for. And no one, like, no one is going to think less of you for needing help. Because we all need it. There is no perfect human that, like, ever didn't need help. Like, even if you're someone who's into like superheroes and stuff like that, every superhero has always leaned on someone else for help in every situation. A big thing that I've learnt over probably the last 4 years is that as much as you think you can run away from your emotions, that's a race you're never going to win. Like I said, I was very emotionless through my teenage years, and you think you might have the blueprint for success, and you think that chucking it in the back of the brain and just not allowing yourself to think about it and not allowing yourself to feel that situation, whatever it is or whatever's going on. And, you know, if you are someone who's resorting to, you know, alcohol or things that sort of numb the feeling inside your body to help you with that, eventually it'll catch up to you. The subconscious brain does not forget. It does not forget. That's the whole concept of how the brain works, and the subconscious brain is there to constantly capture every single thing that goes on in your life, and more importantly, it'll continue to bring it up. So my first bit of advice, I guess, just talking from my experiences, is that the quicker that you allow yourself to feel and accept, and then it can be so difficult at the time, but to be grateful for whatever has happened and to find meaning in the situation, the better it will be for you in the long run. To quickly just, I guess, to talk about, I guess, my experiences with my mental struggles. I'm not one who has ever realistically thought that I've ever had like depression. I've definitely had some darker days, some darker phases in my life. I like to use the term chapters because, you know, like a chapter in a book, there's a start, there's a finish, and it's just about realizing that. And so when I was a bit younger, I was very much, like I said, emotionally just detached from everything, and I started to then realize that I was like always constantly behind the ball, and I was always constantly like mentally drained, and I was like just not really happy with where I was in my life. And that's when, luckily for me, obviously never got too down and out about it, but I did realize that there was there were some thoughts in my head that weren't really positive. And now, me always being a pretty optimistic person about life, I've always enjoyed the brain and, you know, how it works. I started to open my mindset and started educating myself on ways to win upstairs. And this will segue into the tools that I use on a day-to-day basis to keep myself mentally square. And a big person who has changed my life that I've never met, but his research, his studies have been so pivotal, I don't know, whatever. They've changed me dramatically, and that is Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'll link his website down below. I've shared multiple of his podcasts on my Instagram stories. His research is just, I don't know, it's just changed my life, honestly. It had literally changed my life. Before I get into the tools that I use to keep my headspace clear and, you know, at a reasonable, you know, a pretty happy place, I do just want to again say that if you are someone, sorry that I'm looking at myself in the mirror, if you are someone that is currently struggling, please seek help. You're not alone. As much as you think that your problems might be so unique to you that no one else would understand, that is so wrong. As much as we are all unique individuals, we are all a human on this existence of planet Earth, and your problems, I can almost guarantee, have been conquered by someone else. So please seek help. Please feel free to speak. There is nothing wrong with speaking. There is nothing wrong with feeling bad. It happens to everyone. So please, even hit me up, message me. I'm happy to chat, but please please speak. So the first tool I use to keep myself squared away, to keep myself fit and fast and everything else is cold showers, man. They're pretty powerful. The main reason I started doing this was because I listened to a Navy SEAL or someone like that, and he spoke about doing something that you hate within the first hour of your morning. And it's almost at the point now where I don't know if I need to have longer cold showers, but it also has, you know, dramatic effects on breaking down stress inside the body. It re-shocks the immune system and sort of just gets the ball rolling and starts the day off really well. The next tool on, I guess, my tool belt, if you'd like to think of it like that, because they're just simple tools. And I think I just want to quickly say that, you know, I'm not someone that struggles with severe mental health issues, but these things definitely do still help for day-to-day life, because day-to-day life, it can be difficult. The second tool is meditation. It's something that I need to do more of. At the moment, I probably meditate 4 times a week, but I'd love to get to a stage where it's nearly every single day, because it has just been such a powerful tool over the last year of my life, which I do think I'll make a video about, because it has been almost a year now. It's been over a year since I've started the practice of meditating. It's just giving that time for me. It's like giving that time for the brain to just run. I feel like we have thoughts throughout the day that we are trying to constantly focus our mind, do everything else, and it's just it's just giving that time. You know, we all go to the gym, or we all work out and we work out our muscles, but we never realistically give ourselves the brain time to just do whatever it wants. So for me, 10 minutes, and to be honest with you, I don't have a guided meditation. I honestly listen to peaceful meditation on Spotify. I just listen to that playlist. I listen to, I think, the first 6 songs, and I go on, my memory card got full, but yeah, I listened to those first 6 songs, and it could be a bit more, but I go on this mind journey where my brain just does whatever it wants, it thinks whatever it thinks, and I just give it time to do what it's designed to do, which is think and have thoughts. I feel like in our rat race of a life that we are constantly trying to control, and we just don't, it's always like so much stuff's going on, and we don't give ourselves the time to just let the brain just think. And then secondly, with the meditation, is as much as you allow it to think, you sort of give your brain and body time to feel. There's so many things and so many situations and events that happen in our life that are so quick that a lot of us are at the point where it's like, it happens, but you need to move on because for whatever reason, if it's work, but you just don't give yourself that time to stop, think, and feel. I can't stress allowing yourself to feel. Like, I understand that it can be tough, and sometimes the things you have to feel are not exactly pleasant, but the brain, the body, the mind, they all just need to feel it. Like 98% of my meditations ended me in crying, and you know, the majority of those are good tears. They're good feelings, good emotions that I allow myself to completely take over my and just come out, and it just makes me feel so much better. Because if it can just be so powerful, and just it's so refreshing, and allowing yourself, and it can be, and like I said, the subconscious remembers everything, right? So it allows yourself to, in some cases, for me, it's going back to previous events from like when I was like 4 years old, and these things that you don't realize affect you still, but allow you to just like accept, find meaning in the situation, and then move yourself into a state of gratitude for that event happening. Because every single person, you might not necessarily find the meaning for whatever life has thrown at you at the time that it happens, but if you give yourself time to stop, think, feel, you will. And that's what's been super powerful for me when it comes to meditating, is that like, man, I've gone on these I've been in these meditations where I've gone back and like hugged like my 4 to 5 year old version of me who was worried because my parents were separating and I didn't know that life was gonna, and it's like, look man, like look where you are, and look what's happened. Like that needed to happen for you to be where you are at this present point in life. So yeah, meditating is like huge, and I feel like meditating and this next tool, which is the practice of gratitude, sort of tie in really well with each other, because a lot of my meditations then move to me being in a state of gratitude, which then usually allows me to feel. So gratitude, the practice of gratitude can be done in many ways. It can be as simple as writing down the 3 things that you're grateful for every morning before you get up. It can be saying the 3 things that you're grateful for before you go to sleep. But it is super powerful to get those happening, because it actually has a change. It makes a change inside your body. Like, your brain starts firing on a different level when you are in a state of gratitude. And the energy that you're putting out into the universe is different, and what you receive is going to be different. And that is the only way for you to grow, is to be grateful. And I will again link Dr. Joe Dispanza below. I recommend listening to what he talks about. If you're thinking right now, Mitchell, you're talking about some real hippie, heebie-jeebie stuff, just remember that we are a rock floating in a universe that we know nothing about, and we are a living organism, and just how grass needs to absorb the energy from a sun to grow, we as human beings absorb energy, because we are just a more complex and advanced version of what a leaf is to grow with sun. We're all energy. So look, I'll throw it out there. I'll be the one. I'll admit it that like I believe that the universe already has a plan for us, and that we are just Anyway, but the practice of gratitude is going to be huge to keep this guy up here like squared away. Next tip, it sort of just touched on it, but like grounding. I don't know if that's like the correct terminology for it, but just sort of having bigger thinking than what you're currently going through can be like really, really powerful, and like eliminating some of the issues that you think you have going on in your life. So for when I was living in Whistler, like being surrounded by mountains that are so freaking tall was just like super grounding, and makes you, it's like, it's belittling, but like it's a good belittling, that it's like you might think that your problem is so large, but in the big scale of things, it's really not. This one's a weird one, but I think about it all the time, and it really, really helps me. So like if I'm ever caught up with an issue, with a problem that is consuming me at whole, I will literally just tell myself, Mitchell, you are a human being, an energy, a little bit of energy in a universe that you have absolutely no idea about. You're on a floating rock. Like the actual exist, like it is so rare for you to exist right now. The bills that you just have rolled in are nothing. And for me, that it works. I'm like, whoa. Yeah, big picture stuff. I don't know if the grounding is the correct term, but yeah, having those like real like big picture thoughts are just powerful, like super powerful. I don't know. That's like, it works for me. Like I said, all these tools, these are my tools that I like to use. I'm not going to say they're going to work for you, but they might. So if you want to try them like that, use them, let me know. But yeah, and I guess like the last little tool is going to be exercise, and obviously like lifestyle choices. Exercise is huge. Like I'm not going to dabble too much on about exercise, because there is so many scientific researchers behind it now, that you know how important it is for the body to be moving, the body to be constantly growing, how important it is to just purely get your sweat on, like getting that heart rate up, doing that, because obviously as human beings we become so comfortable in society, and we are actually mammals, and we need to be in that constant, if we are constantly in a state of comfort, we spiral and bad shit happens. So yeah, I sort of hope you guys enjoyed this video. I guess it's just really me opening the door to talk about mental health, and then the stuff that I do to keep myself in a pretty good headspace. If anyone out there is struggling, please message me. You can message me directly on Instagram, or drop a comment and we'll have a conversation about it. If there's any tools that you guys have to help you be squared away with how you deal with stuff, maybe drop them down below, start a conversation as a little community or something like that. But yeah, just to wrap it up, it's not weak to speak. It's honestly not weak to speak. But yeah, hope you all have a great day. If you'd like to donate to a good cause, the link, the description is down below. Yeah, I guess keep up with me on Instagram if you want to see this mullet just continue to get worse. But yeah, thanks for your time.